Hi, guys. Instant Gratification Episode 2. Edwin, we're doing it.
We're doing it.
Second episode. And we will hopefully get more views this time. It was fine. It was fine. I had some technical issues, but...
And that's what I love about this process, because you all should see the studio and how she set it up.
I'm trying to be so professional.
Like guest Edwin on the computer, where I can watch my voice go up and down and fluctuate.
She's
the real deal.
So impeachment.
Yeah.
Guys,
this is MFer.
So this is one of my best friends in the whole world, Edwin Brown. We went to grad school together. I know, guys. I keep bringing on grad school people. It's gonna keep happening.
It starts with who
to
you
start
know.
out, I'm starting out with who I know, and then we'll bring other people in. But for now, got a lot of actor friends.
Yeah.
So here we go. Edwin and I went to grad school together. We were in the same class 3 years, and then we both moved to New York relatively around the same time. And it's been good. Like, we've been doing...
4 years.
4 years?
Yeah.
No, not for me. 3 years for me.
It's 2019. Oh, well, 3.
Uh-oh. You're losing track.
Can't do math.
We're almost 30, guys.
Yeah.
So you were saying... So before we started recording, Edwin was saying that he's been entertaining himself with impeachment. And this is not a political podcast, but we will talk about a little bit of politics. I studied politics in college. I'm really interested in politics, but I've taken a little bit of a break because it's too much.
It is.
But you're finding it fun?
It's hilarious.
Please tell me more, because I don't watch this shit. I'm not watching
I am watching the debate.
Okay.
And, Representative Adam Schiff is just they lay their cases out.
Yeah.
And so right now, as this is recording, they're going to vote on the witnesses. Whether or not they're going to be seen. And John Bolton is the latest one. And all this to say,
witnesses regarding which of the things that Trump has done? Which one of
the
all
Democratic
of them?
senators want, like, John Bolton to speak. They've subpoenaed so many people back in when it was at the House of Representatives, but the obstructionist has stopped everything and everybody from testifying. So now that it's a trial, in quotes,
Yeah.
Mitch McConnell, Senator Mitch McConnell, Moscow Mitch, where's Mitch?
Asshole Mitch.
Turtleneck, scrotum Mitch.
Ew. He's so fucking terrible. He's disgusting.
Is making sure that are going to even be 4 Republican senators to vote to have witnesses come and be, questioned. Crazy. And so my prediction is that McConnell will win.
Yeah.
That there will not be an impeachment. There will be an acquittal. There will not be any witnesses at the quote-unquote trial. Mm-hmm. And I think that's because Americans want to see a full-on fight on the debate stage between 45 and whoever the Democratic winner will be.
Is it because we just love movies? We love drama. We love drama.
I will not call that theater, but yes, it is drama.
Oh my God, it's theater, but
it's bad theater.
It's not technically juicy. It's not theater, but it has all the dramatic elements of theater
and the disgustingness and
it was
the
almost
insults and the drama.
I mean, this is like, I don't really care, full disclosure here, but like, I'm a Bernie supporter.
Here.
And we know that because Miriam gets drunk, and guys, when Miriam gets drunk,
this is great.
When Miriam gets drunk, she likes to donate to political campaigns, and she doesn't remember. And not only political campaigns, like social causes, animal rights.
So you're at the bar and You've had a couple and you're having a good time.
And then I see Bernie Sanders on my Facebook.
You wake up the next morning?
Okay, so this week, I after my drunken night, I went to I went out this weekend and it was really fun, went dancing. And the next day I was at work and I opened my phone. And when I went, because I don't have a Facebook app because I'm trying to control my social media intake. So I don't have the Facebook app. I have to go into the actual like Safari internet option to like go to Facebook. So as soon as I opened my Safari, it was Bernie Sanders' page of like, thank you for your contribution. And I was like, what?
How many times have you done this, Patriot?
Definitely drunkenly donated to the koalas 2-3 weeks ago.
Help Australia, yes.
And Bernie this week. And, Julian Castro.
Wait, he's not running.
Oh, but he was. I gave money to Julian Castro when he was in the first debate because I felt compelled to support my Latino comrade.
So instead of a drunken text to an ex,
I am healthy. I'm a healthy person. I am socially aware,
ordering
and I'm
things on Amazon.
Nope.
Okay.
I support people I believe in.
So
I support causes.
And you believe Bernie Sanders
I do.
will be the Democratic nominee.
I believe so.
I think so too.
I voted for him last time.
Yeah.
I felt the burn last time.
And I just want to say, so like, because I want to ask you, what does the Hispanic demographic think about who's going to win? Because I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Okay, well, I know for the black
First of all, it would require
demographic-
me actually hanging out with Latinos, which I don't do anymore, which is ridiculous.
Live in the Heights?
I work in the Upper West Side. I'm never in the Heights. I'm here to sleep and do this.
Yeah.
And then I leave, and I literally, my gym is in the Upper West Side. Everything is in the Upper West Side.
Your gym is in the Upper. Cool.
It's convenient.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back to.
Yes.
So I was going to say that I know for the black community, and I just don't like to say African American. It's kind of weirdly PC to me.
African American?
Yeah. When people say that, it's nothing wrong with it, but it feels weird when I say it.
It feels weird when I say it.
So for the black demographic, older baby boomer blacks want to vote for Biden. So I think what will happen is in the primaries, because they're going to come out more than the younger ones.
Yeah.
That the black vote will go to Biden, but Biden isn't a front runner. It's between Warren and Sanders. So the younger people who do come and vote, the younger people that come out, the younger black people that come out and give those votes to Sanders, that's going to mean something.
It's going to mean,
and I think that'll kind of push him ahead of Warren.
I'm hoping
for the black vote.
I'm only hoping because I'm Cuban, so most Cubans live in Florida, and most Cubans vote Republican every year.
Right.
I'm hoping that because it's the younger the generations are, the more typically democratic they become. Mm-hmm. So I think older Cubans will go down the Republican route, as they always do. Yeah. They voted for Trump. Yeah. And I'm hoping that, I think Florida's going to be the fucking shit show, as it always is. It's always going to be a shit show. But we'll see. We'll see. I feel positive about it. Edwin doesn't, guys, because you can tell by his long sigh that he just did. Sip.
An inside joke from
we have an inside
school.
Joke. Hilarious. Wish Michael was here.
Yes, indeed. Who you will interview, I'm sure.
Okay, so you know that my podcast is all about. I want to talk about relationships.
No, I do.
Okay.
Yes.
So because
I have a perspective.
Edwin and I were just like, I was just making coffee and I was in the kitchen and I was just like, what? Like, what happens when you get like, when you start a new relationship and like you have that moment of like, fuck. Like, this is getting, I like this person, they like me, it's reciprocal. And you could tell that it's going down the road of like, we about to be in a relationship. Like, not a casual relationship, but like, our feelings are involved now. And when this is a demise, which it always is, sorry guys, but 60% divorce. It's like 60%.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's like 60%.
Ooh. I was going to ask, how long does it take for you to know that those feelings are there? That like the next step is this might actually be a real relationship.
I think you just know when things become things become easy. I think that's something that I've always noticed. Like if anybody's listening out there who's like right now, like, oh my God, he hasn't texted me in like 2 days. Oh my God, I texted him and he doesn't text me like until like the next day, or I don't know why we only hang out once a week and I really want us to hang out more. When you are, in my experience, when you're in the right kind of in the right track of something becoming a relationship, what I've realized is that things become easy and it doesn't require a lot of work. Mm-hmm. Or in your downtime, you're not questioning whether, oh, why isn't he doing this? Why isn't he texting me? Or like, why are we not seeing each other more often? It just becomes easier. Things just become simpler.
Easier, but I think it still is work. You do have to, make time.
You have to make time.
I know what you're saying.
What I mean is like the mental, like the mental strainage of, is that a word?
Strainage.
Like straining? Whatever. I have a master's degree.
It's not a word.
I don't think it's a word.
Go ahead.
I have a master's degree in acting.
Hallelujah. And we can be teachers. And bartenders and caterers. I'm a security guard.
You are a security guard.
I work full time.
I don't know who in the world will be afraid of such a graceful, gentle soul like you.
Hold on. Let me relax. So it's like, this is me bright-eyed and this is me cold, stern.
I feel like
F with me.
I have seen
Get
that
out
before.
of here. And I just have to stay in that the entire time and be present. Back to relationships.
Yes.
Back. And being present in a relationship is...
I don't listen. I realize.
You do this and you're not a good listener?
No, I think this is helping me be a better listener, and I think it helps with acting as well because you have to listen so much when you're acting. But I'm saying I've realized in relationships that I don't listen as much as I should.
In your friends' relationships, you listen. You're a good listener with me. I don't know about him.
There is no him.
Well.
Guys, we're dating. We're dating. And we're young. We're in New York City. We're dating. That's what this podcast is about, figuring this shit out. So really what we're trying to figure out is fear comes into play when relationships start to become, when your feelings are getting involved and you know that if something goes wrong, you will get hurt.
Yeah.
You know that you will. So what do? Sometimes we sabotage relationships, right?
Which is something a bit that I've been invited on a trip. Right now it's January, and I've known this person for a good month, but it's been a great month with like 6 dates.
Yeah.
And he and I are just going back and forth covering it. And it's not always eating out, but we spend money on each other. And
which is good.
Now he wants to take me to a trip to the Poconos for...
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yes, for Valentine's Day.
Ooh.
And I realized...
What?
It...
Scares you?
Yeah, it does.
Is it just too soon?
It feels a little strong, and it's going to be with 2 of his coworker girlfriends and their boyfriends. So I asked, well, what are we going as? And he said, a couple. Like, we're dating. I was like, okay. But I kind of halfway self-sabotaged it, and now we're back in this talking phase of, like, figuring out, like, I need to make up my mind. Do I want to go? And we have to talk. We just have to talk some more.
Why do you think you're afraid?
Because I like him. This is what you said.
Yeah.
It's like I know my feelings are going to be there For me, relationships have led with sex, and that is not, I don't think, the healthiest for me. If it's healthy for you, great. But with him, it has been totally different. I'm way more into his personality and like his intellect than ever I've had with anyone. Like it's usually about their body, and I want to like get to talking about like lust and attraction, and basically,
which is a good. That's a good conversation that we can both put a lot of input on that.
Yeah.
So this is like one of the first times in which you feel like the physical has taken a backseat a little bit, in the sense of like you've taken time to get to know someone past the physical, and it's most of the relationships based upon like you actually like the personality of the person and like what you've built so far.
Yes, and like that it's been like physical is more like 30% of what this relationship is, when I'm used to it being 50 to 60 to 70 and
to 100.
Let's be clear. So
let's be honest, not just clear. Let's be honest. It's 100.
I'm being red, but it's the truth. And so,
because I haven't known you for that long.
Right. So this 30%er, but 70% everything else that matters is
the stuff that actually matters.
Is frightening. And, you know, it's a commitment, really. And so I just have more questions and things that I would like to discuss with him.
How about the idea?
Because I would want this trip to come at like a 3-month period, not a 1-month period.
But I also think like you're not going alone.
True.
It's not like it's going to be super
I don't know
romantic.
any of the people.
But that makes it even more casual
exciting.
In a way, and like I think it just sounds fun.
Yeah.
Like it just sounds fun.
Yeah, it definitely.
Like think about it. Like you would do that with friends.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think it's scary to take things to the next level. But also, like, I think my philosophy for this year is like, are you having fun? You are? Then keep doing that. Are you not having fun? You're not? Oh, don't do that. Like, fuck it. Don't do that.
Say that again.
That's what I'm saying. Are you having fun? Yes, I am. I'll keep doing that. Oh, I'm not having fun. Stop doing that. Like, that's what it should be like. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's like, if you're having fun, why stop or sabotage the relationship because of a fear that you have? I'm telling this to myself after literally having an interaction yesterday in which I was like, I can't do this.
Tell me more.
No, I just had a moment of just like, the same thing you did. I had a moment of just like, I know where this is going. Like, I literally can't.
And you don't.
I don't. That is the truth. You don't know. Life is completely ambiguous. Like, you don't, just because you've had a few relationships that failed doesn't mean that the next one is going to fail. Is there a likelihood that it will? Duh. Yeah, there is. So it's that fear, like, and especially like I'm pretty emotional, but I'm also rational. Like, you got to take those things into consideration. It's like, and I also have noticed that like 6 months is pretty much all I can do nowadays of being single.
That's good.
Like in the sense of like I'll still date, but I have like 6 months is like as long as I can go. Not because like I'm pushing. Like the thing is like it's like I'm not pushing for a relationship. It's just like when you're comfortable being single, eventually when you really get comfortable being single, that's when like a person comes into your life that is attracted to that and stops it.
Is that like balance? Is that like the universe?
I don't know, but it's 6 months. It's always 6 months for me. And I think the 6 month rule is not just a 6 month thing for like single people. In my life, 6 months when you're in a relationship, I had somebody tell me this. They were just like, relationships are in 6 month like increments. Something happens at the 6 month mark, and then the 1 year mark, and then the 1.5 years, and then the 2 years. And
Wow.
and it's like, and especially like in the first year.
Who told you that?
This back in Kansas City, I was working at a restaurant, and I had a regular that I was telling him about me moving to New York, and like me like either continuing my current relationship or not, and whatever. And
But
he
you
was
weren't
like,
bartending then, right?
no, I was like serving,
Which is a
I hate
really
to
fun
do.
job. But yeah, if you had a regular.
Joe and I talked about this in the last podcast. But he was like, you got to measure relationships by 6 months, because you'll know. And I've noticed it every 6 months you're in a relationship, something will it's going to test the relationship.
Right.
It'll either end it or you'll get past it and you become stronger.
Yeah.
And in my perspective, like the year mark is always like the toughest one. I think after you get past a year, I think it becomes easier to stay in the relationship, because at that point you've invested so much and you know so much about each other that you're in it for the long haul for the most part. And then we can talk about like 3 years. Like to me, 3 years is when you decide whether you get engaged or not. That's what I think.
But it's okay not to be proposed to after 3 years? I mean, at the 3-year mark?
I mean, that's so relative to anybody.
Yeah.
I can't talk about that because I've never been in that situation. But I do think I think 3 years is when you start talking about those things more. It's like, oh, are we moving to the next level? Are we not going to move to the next level? And that's what I think in my experience.
Good.
Like,
That's really good.
but anyways, dating is hard. Dating and especially like your situation, like your
If you don't know,
if you didn't know by now,
and you
If
wouldn't
you
know
don't
if you
know
saw me
me
at
by now.
my security job.
I'm sick, guys.
You really don't sound it.
Yeah,
But
I am.
I'm queer, homosexual,
What?
gay.
I didn't know this.
You didn't. By the way,
The first time I met you, I didn't.
I love that because
I had no idea he was gay.
I don't present as like I don't
Flamboyant.
flamboyant. Meanwhile, on the back of this, I don't know if they can see it.
Oh my god, what does it say? RuPaul's Drag Race. No, DragCon.
Yeah.
You go like every year.
Every year in New York City.
So fun.
I've done drag like twice in plays. Once at school, and
Yes.
and then once at in DC. What was the question?
We were talking about fuck. Did I just forget to?
Oh no!
No. We got this. We were talking
Okay.
about dating as a queer person in New York City.
Right.
Yeah.
It's drag queens.
And drag, like adding an extra little.
Because it's
Pepper.
really difficult. So I'm basically only attracted to other black men. I mean,
What?
like I'm attracted to women as well, but
You say that, but I've been naked around you, and how dare you, sir?
but I've never been in a relationship with women. And so I think for a lot of black men and then gay and then educated, there are a lot of hoops and hurdles, and there just aren't that many of us. No tea, no shade, no pink lemonade to all the black male community.
You have a type,
I have a type that
and it's hard
is
to find that type.
a unicorn type. And
Yeah. You're attracted to
It's
like
hard.
you're
It's
attracted to
hard to
masculine dudes for the most
as
part.
well, no. I am.
You're changing
I'm
a bit.
I am. It did start that way. And I think that's because, too, black gay men, queer in general, have to figure out. I mean, we all have to figure out who we
Yeah.
are and like, but what do we want in terms of like a partner? I work best with someone who is more feminine than me. I've done drag twice. So, but if they are more feminine than me, usually present male, but are just more flamboyant. Because I've dated a trans woman. I've dated like super masculine men. And I've dated like queens. And somewhere between like queens and masculine men is what I
you
like. Yeah. It's what I feel most comfortable with.
Do you think it's because you are somewhere in the middle as well?
I guess so.
Aren't you?
I don't know. It's just my preference.
Yeah.
I haven't looked. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know either. I'm trying to figure it out too because, like, I mean, you told me a few months ago that you were dating someone who was, you told me was queer, but like trans and all things. What was it exactly?
Well, yes, because I should get this right because I don't know if this I put this person under the trans umbrella, which turned out to be a mistake because they did not want to be really identified
In the trans
even
community?
not even like non-binary. But I was just like, I'm very confused. I feel like
So
you
they
are
just didn't want
going
any
from-
title.
Basically.
Okay.
Very
That's
feminine,
fair.
very feminine presenting, very extremely androgynous, like one of the most androgynous people I've ever met, but more on the feminine side. And had developed breasts because they were taking estrogen. And
So that biologically they were male,
biologically they were male,
but
appeared to me that they
she
were
was transitioning
to female.
to female.
I'm using they pronouns because we really couldn't get that straight. They were okay with she, but it seemed like at times they
She
were not
wasn't.
okay if I wasn't using he around certain people. So I didn't know the rules,
Oh my
and
God.
it just turned out to be too much.
I can't even begin to scratch the surface on this topic. But the thing is, like, you would think that you would encounter more transgender people in life, but to be honest, I don't. I did this summer. I worked with someone at the U.S. Open that
You work in theater.
Yeah, but there's a lot of gay people in theater.
I know 2 people who are trans that work in theater, and I know 3 because one I was going to ask, did you ever? Is there someone from high school that's transitioned after high
No.
school?
I know. I'm saying I do know transgender people from grad school, from theater, from the past. But I'm saying in an everyday basis, I don't encounter that many transgender people.
Everyday basis.
Yeah,
Yes, okay.
in my everyday life, like I don't, and I think when I have,
But Miriam, you might.
you just don't know it.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't know. But I think like bartending, I have, and I will typically. When you don't know someone, how are you supposed to know what pronoun they want you to use? When you're a stranger, how am I supposed to know? So I see it as like, what gender are you presenting to me? Mm-hmm. I can clearly tell sometimes when somebody's biologically a male who's transitioning. I can tell that. If they're dressed as a female, their hair is like a female, they seem to be wearing makeup, they're presenting themselves as a female gender, I'll dress them as she, or her. Mm-hmm. Every time I've done that, I've never had somebody be like, excuse me, it's actually they.
Really?
I've never had anybody like...
I don't think
Never had anybody
have.
like get defensive or... Not defensive, but like sort of be like, oh, I'm sorry, that's not my pronoun.
What you're speaking on is a skill. Just very quickly, like, so when I was a waiter, and I was serving maybe like lesbians, I would say ladies, and I was like, ooh.
Did it feel weird?
Well, for the more masculine presenting one, if that was the case, they would not like that. She would not like that. He would not like that. I don't know,
Yeah.
And so I was like, I learned from there. If I don't know, or just go on the safe side of not gendering and just say hello, you know what I mean? And especially like at the door, I have to like say hello, miss, hello, sir, or I can just be like hello, and like have a good day, but not say have a good day, miss or sir. Because
I'm really bad. I say guys.
I don't know.
I say guys to everybody. I say thank you,
That's
guys.
too PC to throw away guys. I don't know if that's with the patriarchy. Great. I mean, if you say girls, then cool. We can accept that as well. Bye, girls. You know what I mean?
So you think you're saying that if you say like if there's a group of people and there's males and females or just I'll do it to just girls sometimes.
You'll say bye, girl. I mean, bye, guys.
Thank you, guys. Yeah. Bye, guys.
And are they ever like?
No. Nobody reacts. No, it's normal because people do it to me too.
Right. I think it is more revolutionary to randomly throw in by girls as well, just cause.
But why?
Because
does everything have to? And guys, we're figuring.
Folks would be upset.
Okay, but I'm not a PC folk.
Guys.
I'm not a PC folk. I'm a very empathetic, sympathetic person. I'm mainly left-leaning, but I've been trying very hard to be a centrist for the last few years.
That's hard.
Is it that hard?
Yes. Not in politics, but in social climate?
No. Like, I mean, I take a very left stand on most things.
Yeah.
But when it comes to PC culture, I try to be very much like in the middle when it comes to that stuff. Like in the sense of like, I don't ever want to hurt anybody's feelings, and I'm never going to try to do that. But I also don't. I'm not going to throw in thank you girls to a group of guys just to do that. Not everything has to be equal all the time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Like I think our fight right now is like in society. I mean, I think we want equality, but equality doesn't have to come. I'm someone that likes I talked about this where I like my gender role. Mm-hmm. I don't like all aspects of my gender role, but I like certain benefits that come with my gender role, and I dislike the things that come with being a woman as well, in the sense of equality, in the sense of pay, in the sense of like having to sort of protect my own body around certain men. I don't like that.
Verbally as well.
Yeah.
I have been Me Too'd, not to like make light or a joke of that. Currently, there is a sales associate at this store where I'm doing my security job who keeps hitting on me, who keeps asking to see my pictures on apps like Grindr and all that.
Jesus.
Once it comes to me with a little black
Is
tape
he your
measure.
superior?
So
No.
I'm basically a temp, really. I'm like staffing at that store. I can be at any store. So I don't work for the stores, but I work at the stores.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
So, I mean, he is, sorry, to answer your question,
Yeah.
he is my superior in that if he doesn't like me, then he can talk to his manager and be like, get rid of him. Mm-hmm. But it would be for the manager to decide. So I'm not trying to make a stink. I'm logging things. He's compared my penis to like, how big is it? Using a tape measurer. And like in front of clients, their customers. So he's pulled back because I've told people that I trust there that, yeah, my little sexual harasser, I'm logging it. And I feel more sympathetic to women who I know go through catcalling every single day since puberty, and sadly, sometimes before. I've never in my life known how much of like how serious it is.
Yeah. Well, I think
when someone is on you, and then random strangers throughout a day.
I think it happens. I was working at the U.S. Open this past summer, and we had one of the sales managers who was gay was blatantly sexually harassing the males in the brand ambassadors, like specifically some that were not American, and it was so. You want to talk about like completely inappropriate, like come back to my hotel room after work.
And he was serious.
touching.
I've never been touched, thank goodness.
And
It's
it
all
was just
verbal.
like, how is this person like? And I would tell the boys, you got to say something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's something in straight male culture where like you don't talk about that stuff. They were just like, nah, it's fine. And they would laugh about it sometimes, but then like they were like, no, like we had to like tell him, I had to tell him to stop, to not put his hands on me. I had to tell him to do this. And I was like, are you going to tell anybody? Because who knows other people he's doing this to. Like, this is a temporary thing that's happening right now at the U.S. Open, but this person works for this company all over the country. So it's not just you guys. He's doing this every year to a bunch of people. And the boys just didn't want to, and I can't blame them for it either. Like, I feel like I've been in situations, I've been in terrible situations where I haven't said anything either, because you don't want to start something.
Drama.
You don't want to start a drama. You don't want to go through the steps it takes to hold somebody accountable for their actions.
They would have been believed? I'm just curious if they had come forward
Yes, because
together?
of the evidence, because everyone around them knew it and noticed it, and it happened to so many of them.
Wow.
It was one person doing it to all these boys, like in our that were like me. They were brand ambassadors.
I think Me Too and all of that, I think it's a symptom of porn addiction. There are so many people who watch it and who watch it every day. And if you are in the cycle and mindset of always looking at another human being as a thing,
It's a sexual object.
you are going to bring that into your life. And you will, view them as like a screen, as a thing that's unreal, and not as another person with feelings, and saying, you can't talk to me that way. We're not in the privacy of your own home. I did not consent, to this touch or, the craziness that you're doing. That's my 2 cents on that.
No, it's
But that is really sad that they felt uncomfortable coming forward.
I definitely do think that porn doesn't help. Porn is that's a tough subject, I think, for me, because it's like I can't like sit here and be like, I don't watch porn. Mm-hmm. I watch porn. Do I choose specific porn videos that I feel are more realistic when it comes to sex? And that's kind of what I'm interested in. Yes. Because what I've realized is that, like, men, specifically men, straight men, I don't know about the males but I'm guessing it's similar. They've seen so much of what sexuality is supposed to be like from these porn videos, and then they try to recreate it in real life. And oh my God, does that not work out?
Never.
Ever.
Doesn't work.
Nobody wants to be treated that way. You know what I mean? Like, no. And if you
I wish I knew how to fix it, because I don't want to get rid of the porn industry. I just wish I knew how to fix it.
I think it's becoming like anything else. I think change is happening very quickly. Do you have to cough?
Excuse me, I had to burp.
Guys, it's winter in New York. What are we gonna do?
Because the weather was so hot.
It was so nice, and then it dropped, and we all just got sick. It was awful. It's awful.
I feel like there's going to be snow in February. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know. I think so too. No, I think things are slowly changing, but it's going to take a while, obviously. But I think, obviously the Me Too movement is amazing and has done. I think it was, the day that we all woke up and like everyone. Jeez. Sorry, guys. I gotta figure out how to fix this. Like, so everything I have right now is an Apple product, and they all sync with each other. So I gotta figure out how to.
As it should be.
As it should be. And we can talk about Androids versus iPhones all day. Yes. I'm here for the long haul.
Bring it on.
Bring it on. Fuck. I get so passionate about it. I don't know why. Jesus.
And you have a Google Home, right?
I have.
They
like,
are listening,
Chromecast.
but so what?
No, I don't have that shit because I feel like it does scare me a little bit.
They are listening, but
Yeah.
so what? I have one. So what? It's
Fuck
helpful.
it. We're all dead anyways.
I wish I was getting paid to use it, but they gave me it for free. And I was like,
know.
all right.
I want to do my 23andMe so bad, and I'm just like, I keep thinking like I really want to find out what I am because I know I must be some crazy mix of something.
Gypsy
I'm a
woman.
gypsy woman. But I do. But then like they're selling all your DNA information.
They are.
Anyways, whatever. But point is, I think like the day that we like woke up and saw how many people, how many specifically women, have been victims of sexual harassment, rape,
In
molestation.
every single industry.
In every industry. And then all the guys, so many friends of and people that I knew in my life, men were just like, I had no idea. And I was like, it's crazy because all women talk about this stuff with each other, closed doors, but we don't feel comfortable, and we never have because of our society, talking to men about this. And I have found there is such, this might sound weird, but when I'm working and I'm at the bar, especially like after like a year after Me Too broke out, the most interesting and positive thing I experienced from that was seeing men and women at the bar talking about sexual harassment, rape in a setting that would have never happened before.
No.
People don't talk about that stuff when you're hanging out at the bar,
Right.
when you're trying to have a good time or whatever. But it was an open thing that we could now like. There's no taboo around it anymore. And what happens is when you remove taboo from society, when it comes to like such a deeply affecting issue like this, then the women and the men that have been victimized feel free in the sense of like they feel like society doesn't see them as just like, they know that so many other people have gone through it. They're not alone. And now that we can talk about the subject so much more openly, there's no shame in it anymore.
Right.
And when somebody is freed of shame, that's one of the most amazing things you could do for someone.
It is a stigmatized identity to be the victim or the receiver, whatever word you want to use, of sexual harassment. That is a stigmatized identity where you can feel shame and want to isolate yourself. And I knew to immediately fight against that. And I would start bringing people over like, you hear what he's saying? Because I needed allies or, someone to like, go up to and just say, this needs to stop. And not feel embarrassed by, that it was happening to me. Because they will use that as their power.
Isn't it interesting that when something like that happens, the victim is the one that feels like they did something wrong?
Right.
Why is that? Is it because society has made it
a stigmatized identity?
Yeah.
Well, we don't
or is there
empower
something
them to
deeper
speak.
that is happening in the human psyche when somebody's victimized? That why do we immediately go to I'm tainted now, or I'm broken now, or I caused this in some way or something like that?
I can't speak to the I caused this, but the violation and all of that. And yeah, then I guess it goes into like, well, if I didn't look a certain way, or if I wasn't doing something, the lies that are always stuffed down our throats about this, then you start to internalize that and say, I could have done something differently. And that's really sad.
I think again, that's definitely something that for sure that one is changing a lot. I've noticed that people aren't assuming just because somebody's wearing a certain thing that like this is something like I think it still happens. Mm-hmm. That people are like, what was she wearing? Or were you at that party and were you trying to make out with him? Did you coax him into coming to your room? Like, sort of like.
So wild.
Yeah.
I hope I was never that person. I have definitely tried to assess if and when people have ever even opened up to me about that.
Yeah.
And I don't find that vocabulary in my language, but please believe victims or believe people that come forward, because I don't like the victim word either.
Yeah, I
Just
think
believe and listen to their stories,
so. You do
even
you,
at the bar.
you advocate for believing all victims?
Yes.
Okay.
Just kind of like by default. Yes, cancel R. Kelly. I'm having a hard time canceling Michael Jackson.
I know.
But that's not like the only one. I don't know if people know Azalea Banks. She's pretty
Yes.
big in the gay community and definitely in the black gay community.
What did she do?
She starts beefs with every single
Oh yes.
person.
Oh yes. She was. Who was she?
She's gone for your girl, Lana Del Rey. She's gone for Lizzo. She's gone for Beyonce.
That's
She's
because-
come for Rihanna. She's come for Nicki Minaj. She's come for
I do remember
everybody.
she
She's
going-
come for a little girl. The young black girl in Blackish. She's not Yara, but Yara's younger sister. She's come for everybody.
It's because she had that one song and now nobody cares about her.
She has had more than one song.
Okay,
and I
no.
still listen to them
Okay,
when
no.
I work out.
Yes.
And I shouldn't, I feel like.
Yeah, whatever.
But you
she's
know-
just a hater. That's what
Yeah,
it sounds like.
she
She's
is.
just hating on people
And
that are more
we-
successful than her.
Dealing with like cancel culture, we all deal with our artists, in different ways, with products, with brands. If you look up what Coca-Cola does to countries and how they steal water, you're going to feel weird about Coke products, or not, or the god of us all, Apple. All hail
That was so lame.
Steve Jobs.
When Steve Jobs died, this is one of the lamest things I've ever done. Did I ever tell you about this? The guys,
No.
I'm disclosing something that literally will put me in a place of just lameness. When Steve Jobs died, if you went to the Apple website, there was like a Steve Jobs like commemoration, like memoriam, whatever click thing that you clicked on it.
Okay.
And it was a place in which you could write how you felt about Steve Jobs and just submit it to Apple as a way of expressing your emotions towards the loss of Steve Jobs.
That's nice.
And I definitely wrote a letter and sent it in.
That's nice.
Why did I do that?
Closure.
I needed closure.
Ritual.
I needed closure.
Currently, speaking of another icon that has passed, Kobe Bryant and his daughter, one of his 3 daughters, died in a freaking helicopter plane
It's
crash.
the worst tragedy.
And it is so interesting
It's shaken
and
us.
sad to see, what I'm getting to is black men are grieving openly for the first time in a long time.
Wow.
And it's very sobering, but it also shows that black men do have feelings, and that we stuff it down and all that. A lot of black men identified with Kobe Bryant because he cheated, and he got a second chance, third chance, at life, and became a family man. He's just such a good person for our community. And it has been wild to see like Shaquille O'Neal cry, on television. But then also our uncles and our fathers.
I didn't realize, I didn't grow up with, basketball was never like something that I grew up with, that was like very, impactful in my life or that I followed that much. Of course, everyone knows Kobe. Mm-hmm. I knew him. I think I remember seeing him probably the first, like, Sister. Do you remember that episode where he was in it?
No. I thought you were going to say Moesha.
No, it was Sister. Like,
I didn't know he was on Sister.
There was, like, an episode that, like, it was, like, a running gag that somebody knocked on the door and they needed help. And the girls were, like, the first time I think they opened the door and it was like something bad or something, and then like the next, like towards the end of the episode, Kobe walks up to the door and he knocks on the door. He's like, "Hey, excuse me, I'm sorry, but like my car broke down and like I need help. I need to just use your phone. Okay. And he was like, I'm Kobe Bryant. And the girls go, yeah, right. We're not opening the door, weirdo. And he was like, okay. He like walked away. I think that's how the scene went. Mm-hmm. Last time I saw it was a long, long time ago. Yeah. But wait, no. Or was it? I think he was like he was like he actually had a role in the show. I think he was dating one of the sisters.
What? As Kobe Bryant?
No, I think he was acting. I might be making this up. We're going to have to find it up. Where's my... That's fine. We'll figure it out later. But no, I think like what it's done is like everyone... I think what it did for me is... Something that I talked about this past week was like when Robin Williams died, when Prince died, when Michael Jackson died, when Anthony Bourdain died, all these major, major iconic figures that we like hold so dear, part of our culture, died. There was such sadness that like just spread all over the world, but what's sort of like the running theme is that it's mental health, it's drug use, overdoses. The difference was suicide. The difference was Kobe wasn't any of those things. Yeah,
freak accident.
His daughter was none of those things. Mm-hmm. It wasn't something that they did to themselves, you know. As sad as that is, of course. Yeah. But this was something that just, like, happened. And it got me thinking was, like, it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how successful you are. It doesn't matter where you live. You can't control when life just decides to end it.
Yeah. Or just a curveball, a storm, what have you.
It puts things in perspective, because doesn't that make you want to live your life to the have fun? Yeah. If you're not having fun, stop it. Stop it now. It's not worth it.
It's helped with major decisions too, such as, I'm going to tell you a surprise.
Aww.
I've quit acting.
What?
Yes. So I'm saying it for dramatic effect. I'm really taking a good break. I know. I don't
know what to do with my mic right now.
I'll take it back a little further. I've stopped auditioning.
Okay.
Because I want to make some more money. I want to be a little more comfortable.
Yeah.
It's not fun. Not having a lot of money.
Not having fun.
Not saving.
Yeah.
And I've asked for money from family a little too much for me right now. I'm coming into 29. And I'm over that. And so the security job is taking the reins. Will I still do creative, artistic things? Yes. I'm working on, it is live, but I am working on a YouTube channel, Speak with Distinction.
What is this? Is this a blog channel?
This is a Mr. Rogers School for Acting.
Oh, that's sweet.
It's to be like mostly a speech coach with speaking for anyone who has like impediments or are mute or just want to clear up their diction.
I mean, you are brilliant when it comes to voice work.
Thanks so much.
So I think that's a natural progression for you, and that's very exciting.
I've been to voice conferences, people.
What?
I'm weird.
Shaw. Sorry. Another inside joke. I'm so sorry.
Weird acting majors who've taken diction class.
Too many diction classes.
Will understand. But I've right now put up like a resonator, how to warm up, how to find different characters, voice if you want to speak lower, all that stuff.
So cool.
And yeah, so I'm still creative.
But you don't want to do the grind anymore.
I need a break. I called my agent, and they were very upset to hear this.
No,
and I'm
they
supposed to like call them today.
We have the same agent, by the way.
Same agent.
So I can't wait to hear this.
I guess it's going to be like I have to be picky only because my finances are such, and like I think I'm going to name like certain playwrights that I would like to work or like audition for if they're ever out there.
Yeah.
And if it's maybe like a certain TV thing, but I can't take off at work right now.
So they were upset?
They were thoroughly upset.
Did you give him a call or it was
I gave him a call.
Did you talk to the male or the female?
The female, because the male wasn't available.
Oh no. That's why you had a bad conversation.
Yep. And
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Whatever. It's fine.
I mean, I will call them back. There's just going to be conditions. And if that doesn't get me auditions, so be it. Because I need a break. And I need to save. And I do like being a security guard.
You like it?
Really strange. Because I do have to be present. And even though there have been robberies recently, nobody is going to F with a 6'6" black man in these streets. No, it's not going to happen.
They're so confused by you.
I love it. I love it. Yes, because they are,
Edwin would never hurt a fly, but for the sake of your job, he will beat the shit out of you.
Because it's my money.
Don't fuck with my money.
What a dichotomy.
What a dichotomy. Oh, God. Okay. So I had the same thought. I joked around when I went to Ireland. I joked around with friends, and I was like, I think I might stay there, maybe for 6 months. Mm-hmm. And like everyone was just like, but you're building momentum. You can't like stop it now. And I'm just like, I'm definitely not at the place that you're at, because I definitely have found a good survival job in the last couple years that has kept like I'm pretty stable for the most part.
You've had about 3, right?
What?
Good survival jobs.
Yeah.
I've had about 8. Go ahead.
Yeah, and one of them is my longest job I've ever had at 2 years. It's the longest I've ever had.
Mine is 3.
Yeah.
And that's so frightening to put on a resume. I do have to lie. I lie on my resume.
Say?
I'm not the only one.
What do you mean?
In terms of length of time.
Oh, you say longer?
Oh, yes. That's scary. That's so scary to people. And I don't hide that
They know you're an actor, so they're not shocked by that. They understand.
But like, they take it. I've been told you have no loyalty. to that
fuck
job.
That.
And no, but really they want you there, for 5 longer years, especially in the line of business that I'm in right now. I basically have 2 skills outside of acting: bartending and security work. And so I'm working the security thing because that can pay more in the long run. It's nothing that I want to do forever, but for right now, and how life's curveballs are, and me making big decisions, this is the big one.
Well, again, if acting was creating such stress,
right,
which it just does. Mm-hmm. Like the other day, I literally like I was asleep and I was thinking about my career as an actor, and it woke me up because I was stressed about it.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
Time is still on our side.
I'm thinking about moving to LA.
I didn't know about that. Yeah. All right.
Probably at the end of the year. We'll see.
Is when you'll decide.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
But anyways, I understand the struggle, obviously. And I I thought about taking a break too. I'm not gonna do it, but I understand why you're doing it, and I fully support why you're doing it, and I I think it's gonna be good. Whatever you decide to do is gonna be good.
I've made peace with it, definitely, and it's just a matter of me telling them that. I don't want to say like I have to be picky, but I do. Like I'm not going to go out for another drag queen. A tall black gay man gets to be a drag queen on stage, and basically basketball players. And so because that's happening, I can try and cultivate those skills on my own.
Yeah.
While I'm making money. You know what I mean? I can still practice drag. Or walking in heels. I definitely want to practice my basketball skills because I'm in the talks to do a movie with a former director of mine. But if that conflicts with my money, so I'm still up in the air about that. So I've definitively quit because I need cash in my pocket, period. I'm still a creative.
You can't stop being a creative.
No, you can't.
You can't. When you're an artistic person, when you're an artist, you could try to quit. You could try to say I'm not this anymore, but it's inherently like something that you will find a way always to create something that hasn't been created before. That's just this podcast isn't about acting, but this podcast is me trying to create something because I'm sick of having to wait around for an audition or for somebody to give me a role.
Totally.
I want to do something that makes me happy and I want to have fun. That's it. I want to have fun. I'm not having fun, quit. Mm-hmm. So I think I think that kind of like segues us into like the whole instant gratification theme of the podcast, which is like, what do you do when you're in a low place in your life to get yourself out of that low place? What is that for you?
I stretch.
Every day? When you wake up?
Yes. Definitely before a workout. That's my best stretching. Always do a sun salutation.
Really?
And I have to at work because I'm standing all day.
You have to make sure that you're standing correctly too.
I mean, I can lean, but yes, because I have to transfer energy with the people that walk into my store to make sure that you are like an okay person. And thankfully, because I've studied human interactions and psychology and body posture and facial expressions, I have to conduct myself a certain way no matter who I choose to allow into the store because I'm really the gatekeeper.
Yeah. What else
makes me happy?
Yeah,
drinking.
I drink for my mental health.
But also like going out. And dressing up.
Is so much fun.
Oh my goodness. If you have a day off, dress for yourself.
Dress
and
up.
Just go out.
Do your hair.
Walk and
like for girls, like do your hair. Like guys do whatever. Do your makeup. Like I like to shop sometimes. So I'll go and like get like a new shirt.
But not when you're drunk. You like to give money.
I like to donate to campaigns
and organizations when you're drunk. It's beautiful. You're a good person.
Deep
if
down.
anyone ever tells you you're a bad person, you can rely on that.
I take that to the bank. You take that to the bank. Look at
the money.
Look at those $20 I gave. That's $20.
After 2 margaritas. That's beautiful.
Dude. Like so ridiculous that I would ever do that. Like I get so emotional about stuff like that when I'm drunk.
It's what you see in the morning.
No, I just get a receipt the next day. Like, thank you for donating to Julian Castro. What?
When he was running.
Poor guy. We'll get them next time. We'll be the majority soon. We'll get them next time.
Yes, you all will. Isn't that great?
I think it's awesome. I just think we need
There's going to be a white minority in America. Come, what year do you think?
2050?
2050.
before then?
Maybe
I don't know.
sooner.
I don't know. Wait, so what were we talking? Oh, you drank. You
to feel better. And going, I really do. I dress up nicely on a off day. I dress up nicely.
I just can't get over it. I drink to feel better. That's instant gratification.
We're bartenders as well.
Yes.
I like making a good cocktail. It's science, and it can be pretty and art, and I can be creative.
It's so pretty. I love just being there. I like finessing. I like finessing.
A good cocktail because they're watching you, and sometimes they're.
I like throwing my oranges. Like I like when I'm about to like do a martini or something. I do this thing where I'll pick up one of the first shaker. I'll pick up like the first shaker, and then I do this thing. It's like, and I throw it here. It's like a thing I do. It's just like I always like throw it over here, and then I grab the other one.
Nice.
And then I always make sure to shake here.
You got a little mixology.
And then I always flex when I do it. And I flex when I do it.
Yeah.
And I don't wear a bra. But that's just me in general. I just don't wear a bra.
That's true.
That's just me. I'm not wearing a bra now. Mm-hmm. I do that. And then like the same thing when I like peel an orange, like I'll do like a little like I'll throw the orange. Like I'll throw it and I grab it in the other hand and then like I like peel it with the peeler.
You're making me miss it.
And then I do the orange peel.
Yeah, the twist.
I do my twist around the rim.
Yeah.
Like throw it in there.
Because it's theater.
It's performance. They're watching. You got to give the people what they want.
Yes, you do, and it does taste better. I don't care what anybody says when you do.
You make it with love.
Absolutely.
You make it with love.
So finessing drinks. I don't go out as much. I'm reading more. The person I'm dating reads a ton. Is
That's
the
cool.
Creator of a book club and a voracious reader. And so I'm like finishing books that I haven't finished before. So that's something
I'm so bad at it. I used to love to read.
And you don't?
I don't finish. And I just used to love to read. Like, I don't know what happened. Like, after, I think college kind of sucked it out of me because you had to read. Yeah. So it made you like, oh, this is a chore. And then like, I think like when I go through breakups, I'll read. Like, I'll read like books. But it makes me really sleepy. It's especially like if it's like at night. I like to read at night because I'm a night person.
I like to read on the train.
I listen to podcasts. I read articles. I mainly listen to podcasts. I'm always listening to a podcast. Always a comedian podcast because I got no time for a sad time, baby.
Yeah.
I'm here. I listen to Chris D'Elia's. Chris D'Elia is a comedian, and I listen to his Congratulations podcast, and like he calls it, he's like, we're here for a silly goose time. And I'm all about the silly goose time. Like, yes. If, Chris, like I'm endorsing your podcast right now, but,
wonderful.
I want to feel happy. I want positive things. Life is just too hard to just like, on your downtime to not have fun and to just like.
I'm into the political. Michael Moore's Rumble. It's like.
Is this his podcast, right? Yeah, I know. He just it's a new one too, right?
He wants to know the whole empire. I can see capitalism, doing its thing, but for the right reasons.
Everyone and their mother are starting a podcast, including me.
It's the golden age.
It's cool.
Yes.
I think we're good.
I think so too.
I think so. I've
shared so much.
We shared a lot.
I've learned.
We like really touched on a lot of good things. Mm-hmm. Like I'm pretty happy with this one.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we didn't go like we're still trying to figure out the length of what's the perfect, but I think an hour is good to start. Mm-hmm. So but yeah, guys, Edwin, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
We had a fun time.
We did.
Guys, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to comment, please, on anything that we say that you might like feel a little passionate about. Don't be mean though. I don't have time for that. We're here for Silly Goose Time. Or I'm not going to steal Chris D'Elia's thing. I'm not going to steal it. I'm going to come up with my own thing.
What time we're in for?
Just have a fun time.
Yeah.
Don't be a jerk on the comments. Just like, or just comment. Just comment something. Again, we want to focus on relationships a lot in this podcast. So if you have any questions that you might want us to discuss next time or with different guests about relationships, things that are happening in your life, things that you're curious to see what other people are thinking about or going through, just write it in the comments or, just let us know. Thank you guys for listening. Yay. All right, we're done. We did it.
Boom. Look at you.